All right, welcome here to the second day integer operations. What I want you to do is take a moment here to look at this warm up. This is -7 minus a -8. Let's see if we can do this and get this in. So we take a look at this and we draw on it. Let's see if I can draw on it. Nope, it's not looking like it's going to work, but that's all right. We'll just punt. -7 minus a -8. So if we take a look at this right here, we can go a -7, okay, minus a -8. Now, if you look at the negative and negative, the negative and negative right here can be changed into a big, gigantic, chunky plus. I don't know if I can say the word chunky anymore, but whatever. -7 plus a +8. Take that, write that down, put in a 1, and you're done. Now, on the opposite side, you have a -7 plus 8. Okay, -7 plus, oh, hey, that's we just did that. -7 plus 8 right here, okay, is the exact same thing. And you go -7 plus 8, right? And you add that and you get a +1. So that's just a little bit review right there for you. Now, again, if you go through and you take a look at this, and you took a look at these are in fact integers. We're not dealing with decimals. We're not dealing with fractions here. We're just dealing with positive right here and negative whole numbers, okay? So these are some examples. It includes 0. 0 is included in that mix, and you should be good, all right? Now, when you are multiplying integers, okay? When you are multiplying integers, normally we write it with a number and then a parentheses right next to it. Now, if that weirds you out and you don't like that, you may write it in the following format: -3. That dot right there means multiply. -3 times 10, and it works the same way. Now, the one thing to note right here is that a negative times a positive is a negative. Now, that's different than addition, because that's not necessarily always the case with addition. But when you're working with multiplication, negative times a positive is a negative. So I'm going to make that little note right there in the reflection piece. That is a reflection piece that I'm going to want to note. A negative times a positive actually turns out to be a negative, and you can abbreviate that and put that in there if you so desire. Okay, a little piece of note here for you. This is a negative times a negative. Now, a negative times a negative, right, is going to be a positive. So a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, -7 times a -7 is the same thing as 49. Okay, so negative times a negative is going to be a positive. All right, this is written just kind of like the old-fashioned way that we know: 6 times -3, that's a positive and a negative. Positive and a negative mean that's a negative. Okay, and you have that, and you're done. You have a -18. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to take maybe about 2-3 minutes, and what I'd like you to do is multiply these numbers out, and then pause this video, and when you're ready to come back, you can come back and we can go through that. Okay, so try to do these on your own. Pause the video, right? And then when you play, we'll be right here. Okay, this is -15 times 2. Okay, 15 times 2 is a 30. But that's a negative times a positive, so that's a -30. On the flip side, you have right here for number 2, you have a negative times a positive again. All right, you have 45, and a negative times a positive is going to be a negative. Okay, and then finally, the last one if you have a negative times a negative times a negative, oh, that's going to be a positive. That's going to be a positive 18. Take it, write it out, and the rest is gravy. Okay? All right. The next one that we have right here is dividing integers. And dividing kind of works the same thing as multiplying. Okay, so if you're like, what do I do with this dividing positive and negatives? And it's the same thing that works out with the multiplying. Okay, same thing. If we have a negative and we have a positive in any order, and we divide them, I'm going to put a divide right here, sign, division sign right here, and we divide those, we end up getting a negative. Okay, if we take a negative and we divide it by a negative, we get a positive. And you can abbreviate that, or you could write just positive, abbreviate that. Okay, and those are two rules that would be good to know. So this is 9 divided by 3, and 9 divided by 3 is 3, but it's a positive divided by a negative, so that's a negative. This is a negative 7 divided by a negative 7, okay? And 7 divided by 7 is 1, but a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so it stays 1. This fraction sign, so anytime you see a fraction sign, that means right here, this sign right here means divide. And you can write it out as divide and think about it as divide. It's just another way of writing it. Negative 10 divided by 5. And if you so happen to want to write out the division sign, go ahead and do it. It's not a big deal, right? However you want to look at it is perfectly okay. And if you divide those out, you get negative 10 divided by a 5, which happens to be a negative 2. Okay? Now your final one here is going to be the negative 24 divided by 6, negative 18 divided by negative 9, and negative 26 divided by negative 2. And again, I'd like you to try this on your own, pause the video, and then when you're ready, right, to come back, then I want you to come on back right here, and we'll be here. Right? So number 1, negative 24 divided by 6, that is a negative 4. Negative 18 divided by negative 9 is a positive 2. And negative 26 divided by negative 2 is a positive 13. Okay, so just write that out, draw that out. And if you got those, then good. Then you got it. You understood that. All right. You got another little integer maze. Okay. Integer maze is going to be one dealing with multiplication and division. So we're going to start right here, not in the corner, but where it says start. And let's just, as per yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to use the highlighter. I don't know if we can highlight it or not. Maybe not. Perhaps not. That's okay. We'll go through and we will use the pen. So we'll start here at 11 times a negative 4. 11 times a negative 4 is not 44. It's not 120, and it's not negative 15 or positive 15. What that is it's negative 44, and we're just going to kind of squiggle or highlight and go down there. Okay? And then that is per yesterday, right? You're going to go to the next one, negative 48 divided by 8. Negative 48 divided by 8, is it negative 7? I don't think so. Negative 48 divided by 8, negative 12? Nay, nay. Is it 12? No. Is it 6? No. Or sorry, 9? No. Is it 6? No. It is negative 6. And then you can continue all the way down the line right here and over until you get to the end. Okay? So I want you to do that. I want you to submit that. Take about 10, 15 minutes to do that, complete that, and then submit that into Schoology for me. Okay? That should be it. Good luck. And if you have any questions, please message me on Schoology or email me. Thank you. Bye.